So hello, we are Chloe and I'm Chantal with Growing Up Without Borders, and today we're going to tell you about the time that we had when we visited Cusco and Machu Picchu. So if you've been following along, we left from Copacabana and we went to Puno, which is on Lake Titicaca, which is already at a high altitude. And then we went and took another bus over to Cusco. And Cusco is at about 3,400 meters. So right now we are filming from the top of Table Mountain in South Africa, which is at 1,000 meters. I'm going to show you how high up we are here. This is 1,000 meter high, and that's the ocean down below, so that would be sea level. So you can imagine how high up Cusco is already. When we were there though, we didn't really feel like the altitude sickness so much because I think we were already so used to the feeling of it that we were it was okay, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and we stayed in a really nice hotel. That was really fun. Had this beautiful kind of inner court area with a nice breakfast. So that was great. And from there, we did the little few day trip, I think it was only 2 days or 3, over to Machu Picchu. And the way to get there, the trek to get there, we did it like backpacker style, or what most people do. And they take a bus and then they transfer over to a train, and then some people actually walk up Machu Picchu. We took the bus up to Machu Picchu, and then we went and walked all the way down. So to go, I did do a video before about how to get to Machu Picchu from Cusco. If you want to watch that one, I'll put the link below. So I won't go into too much detail other than you have to basically go up 4,000 meters through these crazy mountain roads, and then you take a taxi at one point, and he goes on crazy dirt roads. Do you remember those roads?
A bit.
A bit?
Yeah, it was quite... Wasn't there dead dogs on the road?
We saw a dead dog on the road. We went over rivers, and there was cliffs. We were literally driving on cliffs, right? It was pretty wild. And then when we arrived, and then you take this train in, and so for all of you who are traveling, they may have changed it by now, but at the time they wouldn't accept MasterCard, Visa, or debit cards, no cards basically. So if you didn't have cash, you would have to travel all the way back to another village just to go use a bank machine. So we had to convince them, and I don't know if you remember this, but it took us a long time. We finally convinced the guy to take our passports and then let us on the train, and then at the end of the train we were able to go to an ATM and get the money out for him.
So we met these two people. One was named Anthony Duty, and the other one was
Chantal. She had the same name like me.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And they had big, heavy backpacks. And then we took one of the backpacks on the train with us because it was super heavy.
I think we took 2 of their bags on the train.
Yeah, but weren't they carrying one?
Because they had to walk. So if you want to walk it, you can walk it like that. But it is heavy, and you can send just your luggage, or do like they did with us, find some nice people to take the luggage. And it's a good 2.5 hour walk. And
the train is actually quite slow. It's like you're paying for every minute because it takes half an hour, and it's $30 per person.
It? Really?
Yeah.
You remember the price?
Yeah.
Wow. That's impressive, Chloe.
But it was quite slow, so.
Yeah, it went really slow all along the river point, right?
And all along the train tracks was people just walking on the sides.
Yeah, we can see them all walking into the little village. Then what was the little village like? Do you remember? Are we going to keep walking, guys?
Yeah.
Here's what Julia remembers. This is what Julia remembers about Machu Picchu. What was it?
Eating Skittles.
Eating Skittles. Apparently they found Skittles, all different kinds. Is that what you're saying?
Different flavors.
And then when we arrived in Ecuador, Chloe had a cavity. Now I know why.
Well, it could have been many reasons, but yeah.
I bet you it was the Skittles.
Overnight buses, not brushing teeth. No.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, Skittles.
Overnight buses, not brushing your teeth, and Skittles. That gives you a combination and a recipe for cavities. So in Aguas Caliente, they have these cool little streets. I don't know if you remember, but these like little narrow streets that go up and down, and they're full of restaurants and hotels and inns and such. And it was really fun just to kind of wander through the streets, have some yummy meals, do some shopping, and see some of the local souvenirs that were there. And what else? Oh, do you remember people were splashing everybody? It was February, and so there's like a festival, and all along the streets, people were like throwing water down on top of us, right?
And we were on the bus, right?
Yeah, at one point.
At one point, and we had our windows down, right? And everyone threw water. Actually, we were in a taxi. The people threw water, and we got all splashed. So when we came back, we like shut the windows.
We knew better, didn't we, on the way back?
Yeah.
Something they do there, so be careful if you're traveling there in February. We woke up early the one morning we were going to Machu Picchu because we wanted to get to the very top before everybody else, because the best way to get pictures if you're going is to go early and not walk up, because if you take a bus up, then you beat all the people that are walking up, right? And so we did get some cool shots, still people in it, but not like super crowded like it can get. And I think they put limits now on how many people can go up and how many tickets are being sold in a day. So sometimes you might need to book in advance, not quite sure. So I do apologize for the background noise. We are here at Table Mountain, and we are enjoying the most beautiful view behind us. Let me show you. So there's lots of people talking, enjoying the sunset view as we are.
So up there at Machu Picchu, we saw lots of llamas. The postcard said llamas, which was funny.
And you took pictures with them too, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. And then the buildings were really cool. You can walk through all the little buildings. You can spend hours up there. It's quite huge when you think about it. And then just the thought of like how massive and how they built it all was like unbelievable, because they had to go all the way up. And the Inca trail that goes along, we walked along part of that, and it's so crazy because it's literally like a cliff. I was really nervous, and like we were walking on the one side of the wall, but the girls and I and Tyler, we all walked it. And then you get to this one point, and hopefully I find the picture for this to include, that literally the trail goes along like a rock cliff like this. And the Incas literally walked that trail, that same trail. It's unbelievable. And everything's just so cool, like the way they built it, the way they aligned it for the sun to come in certain ways and different things like that. I mean, it's pretty mysterious, if you will.
So after we spent the day up there, it took us about like an hour, a good hour, to walk all the way back down.
Yeah, that was a nice walk. We kind of ran down all the way down.
Yeah.
And then we decided to walk along the train tracks all the way back. I think we sent our luggage on the train, that's what we did, and we walked all the way back, and then we did the whole way to get there the opposite direction. So we got in a little minibus, and then up over the mountain into the little taxi. Actually, this is different. On the way back, we just did the one little minibus. We didn't have to switch. So, and then we got back really late at night, didn't we?
Yeah, like what time?
Very late. It was late at night. And checked in. Had a good night's sleep. So the following day in Cusco, they had many different kind of parades again, all in the streets, and kind of percussions and drums and stuff playing. Cusco's a pretty big city, has a beautiful square, and it's kind of like, I refer to it as like kind of the tourist square, because when you're walking around there, there's many different tour people trying to sell you different tours and such, but it's a really nice atmosphere. It's like a Spanish city, and you can tell that it kind of has the same kind of structure like the old town and such. It's really, really, really pretty. From there, we ended up booking tickets to go to Lima. And Lima, we went to Ecuador and a city called Cuenca. So that's what our next video, our upcoming video, is going to be about our trip to Cuenca. And one thing that was kind of strange and weird is that when we went to book our flights at the airport, we had bought them online, and the lady said to us, "Well, no, you can't buy the flights at this price. That's the local price." And we were like, "What?" So she was trying to charge us, like I think 500 extra or something really crazy. And long story short, I was able to get a manager and speak to them and say, like, you know, if you book plane tickets online, it should be the same price. I don't know if you remember all this. Probably not, since you were still young. But anyway, long story short, we got through at the normal online price, but it took me some discussing with the manager there, so that was just weird. I've never experienced that before in my life, so really kind of crazy. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed all the video clips and the pictures of our trip to Machu Picchu. Make sure you subscribe and give us a big thumbs up. And we'll see you next time.
Bye!
Bye!